Your heaven and hell is created within your mind. Like, there is nowhere you go when you transition that looks like hell or heaven.
Yeah.
Have your heaven or hell as you are here in this existence, and it's here. As so inside is outside, as so above is so below.
Yeah.
So if your outer world is in turmoil, where do you go?
No matter where you come from or what challenges you face, remember that you have the power to transform your life. We're bringing you the most inspiring stories and voices from authors who are indeed powerful forces for the culture in their work. These interviews will keep you believing in yourself, inspire you to keep pushing forward, and most importantly, never ever stop dreaming. It's your boy, Uncle Kolby, and this is the Kolby Kulture Show.
What's up, Kolby Culture fam? It's your boy, Uncle Kolby, your favorite uncle, and we're back with another episode of the Kolby Kulture Show. Today, we've got an absolute powerhouse with us, Karon Joseph Riley, who's here to talk about his new book, Keep Peddling, Things I Learned on My Bike. But before we get into that, let's jump into this week's literary drop. This week's literary drop is none other than Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes. Listen, y'all, I love this book so much I had to run it back. You know Shonda, she's the queen of TV, and in this book, she's dropping major gems about how saying yes to life changed everything for her. From tackling fears to embracing new opportunities, Shonda takes us on a journey of self-discovery that'll have you ready to say yes to your own greatness. Make sure you check out the full review on my website, djacobywashington.com, ahead of next week's episode. This has been this week's literary drop. Now let's give a big Kolby Culture welcome to the one and only Karon Joseph Riley. Born in Detroit, Michigan, Karon has been a star since day one, from dominating on the football field to lighting up the screen in Hollywood. He's done it all. Karon's journey took him from being an All-American football player and NFL star to becoming a leading man in film and TV. He's graced us with unforgettable performances in films like Little and series like Ambitions and Saints and Sinners. But today, he's here to share the wisdom from his new book, Keep Peddling, Things I Learned on My Bike. With no further ado, I want to welcome to the Kolby Culture Show none other than Karon Joseph Riley. What's up, brother?
Peace and love, King. How you doing today, brother?
I'm well, man. What about yourself?
Man, highly favored, man. I hear winning, and I'm out here peddling, dog. So all my peddlers out there, thank you for tuning in and watching your boy, and let's get into it, man. How you doing? How you been?
I'm great, man. Busy day, but I'm excited to talk with you today about your new book. So let's jump right into it. You've had an incredible journey from the gridiron to Hollywood and now to the world of authorship. How does it feel?
It's still kind of surreal, bro. I gotta admit, man, being an author, manifesting something yet again that I saw in my visions a while ago now that is real. It's always surreal when it happens. It never gets old. But for me, this is new. This is totally new, man. And I know my mother would be really proud. She always wanted me to use my writing skills to do things like, write and really do it. So this is a homage to my mother and my ancestors and everybody else. Just, if you have a fear of doing something, it's probably a good sign that you need to do it. So this was a big fear that I had to do, and I'm glad I conquered it. And yeah, man, you just, like they say, another hyphen at it, right? You just got to keep pedaling to more and more.
Yes, sir. I love it. What inspired you to write Keep Peddling, and then how does this book reflect on your own personal experiences?
Well, it reflects my own personal experiences because that's where I drew the book from. Literally, it's really my what's those manifesto. It's my manifesto of my life, basically. Like if you needed to really understand me or you really wanted to know me, you read this book, you'll understand what my mentality is, how I operate, what I think about, what I think is important to me, what I've used to get to where I am in life through the NFL, to being an actor now, producer, a writer, a husband, a father, a son. Just everything that I do, I put a certain level of excellence in my mindset to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it at the highest level that I'm possibly capable of doing it at. And that comes from just, again, the first letter in Keep Peddling is knowledge, self-knowledge of myself. And that lets me know that our people in itself, we come from greatness. wholly and truly. Like, I don't believe in the narrative that we started as slaves only and savages and all those things. I know our history. I understand our history. I understand our history. So for me, that's where this book is coming from. It's coming from all of that, man. It's coming from, my ancestors yelling out to me to get the wisdom out to the world, to let our brothers and sisters know that we're capable of doing anything. You just got to see the vision, believe the vision, understand it, and keep pedaling until you hit it. And this is my manifesto to my young brothers and young sisters who didn't grow up with a great village that I had. I had great coaches and great father, great mother, great uncles, great brothers. I mean, I don't stand on any accomplishment that I have without saying I stand on so many shoulders and so many people hold me up. So again, that's what this book came from. That's what this book was about. That's what this book is for.
Yeah, I love that, brother. So you've achieved success in so many areas, from sports, acting, and now writing. How have perseverance and resilience, two themes from your book, played a role in your journey across these different areas?
I think it's all connected, man. You can't have one without the other, right? So I feel like I'm at an age where some of the stuff is kind of culminated to what it is. And I say this all the time, at this point, it's not theory for me anymore. So, again, it was about putting all those things together, and I can't speak to every young brother or every young sister and encourage them and speak life into them like I would love to. So again, this was my fairy bird out, or whatever those birds that go out to the world with messages and stuff. So that's what this is all about.
Yeah. So in your book, you use the metaphor of cycling, and I understand you're a big cyclist, to explore life's ups and downs. Can you share a specific moment or time when you were on your bike that led to a really profound life lesson?
Well, I'll go to the moment where I came up with the whole keep pedaling mantra and the whole keep pedaling and energy that I kind of named really my internal personality. I really just named it keep pedaling. Yeah, that's what it came from. So I'll explain how that came about. The day I was on my bike, a little too far out from home, and I was exhausted. It was early in my days of riding, and I got to, I was feeling like I was strong enough, but I went out a little further, and I went, like, just imagine on the bike, however far you go out, that's how far you got to come back.
Right.
Right. So I done went out, and I'm sitting there like, man, I'm cramping up a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, right? And so as I'm riding, I start hearing this voice, the spirit of voice, is saying, just keep pedaling, keep pedaling. And it got kind of into a chant in my mind, right? And then I started thinking about my whole life. I'm like, yo, this is what I've been doing my whole life. Like, when it gets hard, I never stop. I actually like go harder when it gets hard, right? So I started thinking to myself, like, yo, this is something. This is an energy that I should, make. I got to name this. So that's what I got off the bike. I named it, and then after that, man, I took my subsequent ride to Alabama that I take every year for my birthday, and that's when I got the logo. It came to me on the ride back, where again I was in that point of my body where I was completely exhausted. My spirit was wide open. I was sitting there thinking about calling my wife and telling her to come pick me up. But I didn't give in to that. I didn't give in to that voice. I gave it to the other voice. Right. And I always tell people we both live the two voices, right? We got the voice of God and the connection to the Most High, where there is no impossible, there is no difficult. Then we got the other voice, the voice of the imposter, the human side of it that says, yo, we break, we have limits. I may not, though that's that voice, right? We all have both voices. I've just tried to I've trained my life, and I train in my life daily to be able to shut the bad voice out and listen to the voice of God more than anything. So it's been, the bike has been very profound for me in that essence, because it's very meditative for me. It's very spiritual. I'm outside in the sun. I'm outdoors. And as you know, us African people, we thrive in nature. That's where we at our highest and best. So it's been just a big incubator for me, bro. And really the metaphor is we all are riding a metaphorical bike of our life. And there's times when we got to get off and take a break. You know what I'm saying? When I'm riding, sometimes I catch a flat. I got to get off and change my tire. But you know what I'm saying? Just like in life, sometimes bad things happen. We got to stop, right? Change the tire. But the road is still there. The life is still there. And, you know, sometimes we take a little longer off the bike than we need to, but the faster we can get back on that bike and get back on the road, no matter how long, you know, how many flats we get or how many times we got to stop, as long as we just keep pedaling, you know, it all matters. So that's where the whole metaphor, the connection came from. And I still spend a ton of time on my bike. I average 150 miles a week on my bike, bro. So I spend a lot of time in nature. I spend a lot of time with God. I spend a lot of time in my spirit. And a lot of times I'm out there, I get a lot of jewels from the universal knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt like it'd be very selfish of me to not give that back in spades, right? I totally believe that the universal knowledge is accessible to all of us. Every one of us is genius level somewhere in this life, right? You're a genius somewhere. I'm a genius somewhere. We all have genius level abilities. It's just a matter of us all tapping into that. So for me, I wrote that book in that essence, man. And that was with the bike and all that connected. It just made sense for me to be able to put things like, and it's really spiritual, right? So it's easy for me to, it's like put the medicine in something digestible and not so preachery or not so, you know, not so spiritual, right? You know, because a lot of people sometimes can turn off on that as opposed to if you have to give their mind something to really work through as a metaphor, think about it in those terms. Because I mean, most people that are living has ridden a bike, so they can relate, right? Yep. So that's where I put it.
I love that, brother. I love that. You said genius level. We all have genius level ability. It's just us tapping into that ability, right? And so I love, folks. I'm speaking with Karon Joseph Riley here. He's dropping gems on the Kolby Kulture Show, talking today about his new book, Keep Peddling. So the book is all about really embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. So how do you approach setbacks in your life? And I think you just talked a little bit about it, but how do you approach setbacks in your life? And what advice do you have for others that are facing their own steep incline, so to speak?
Good question, man. Just like on the bike, when I'm climbing up a hill, first of all, you have to get a special relationship with challenges, right? When I first started riding, when I saw a hill up here, my whole body would tense up. I would get into it. Damn it, I don't want to get on this hill. Yeah. I'm not a small guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm 225, 226. You know what I'm saying? Muscle. I'm not a cyclist built type person. You know what I'm saying? I played NFL football to give you this idea of my size, right? Right. So riding a bike is not actually the most efficient way for me to move around just because of my size, but it works out because I got a great bike, whatever. But so anyway, I'm going up a hill and I should see the hill. And I would tense up and my mind would be defeated before I get down the hill. So first, how to get through perseverance and get through the challenges of all of it is you have to have a different mindset when it comes to challenges. So instead of me looking at the hill as I hate the hill, I started saying I love the hill. I love that hill because that hill is going to make me strong. And that hill is going to make me a better cyclist. So now I'm attacking the hill with a different energy. So in life, like you said, how I get through things in life, when things are getting hard on me or things are really tough, instead of looking at it with with me, my life is ruined and everything's bad, I look at it with the lens of, oh man, it's a new fire that's about to hit me. You know what happens when the fire hits me? I come out that thing totally different and better. So it's a whole different energy going into the challenge, into the obstacle, which gets me through to the other side every time. You know what I'm saying? So I would give the advice to tell anybody, look at it differently. Stop looking at it as a challenge and look at it as an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Everything that grows has to go through pain. Everything that grows has to go through darkness. Nothing on the planet Earth has grown without darkness. So darkness is upon you. Don't run from it. Don't be judging it. Just embrace it and find the blessings that's in it, because there's blessings all into it, right? So that's how I get through all of it.
Absolutely, man. Love that. Love that. So speaking about that, so you're talking about like shifting your mindset. Mindfulness and living in the moment are central themes in your book. How has this mindset influenced not only your cycling, but just your overall approach to life and success?
It's taught me to take it one stroke at a time, bro. You take it one win, one loss, one workout, one challenge, one script, one TV show, one movie, one audition, one no, one yes at a time. Don't worry about the next 10 no's or the next 10 yeses or the next 10 scripts or the next 10 movies. Worry about the one you got now. Worry about the one you're writing now. Worry about what's right in front of you now. Because now is what you got. And that's the thing about riding a bike all the time, is that it trains me to stay in the now. Because on a bike, I'm riding with cars. My life is at risk. Every time I go for a bike ride, I am not ignorant to the fact that I could not come back. Right? But that's the challenge. That's the part of me that makes me different. Like, yeah, I'm gonna walk out there, I'm gonna risk it to gain it. That's why I can't be defeated.
Yeah.
You ain't willing to die for this shit, you're not gonna beat me in nothing.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? My mind I'm different. So when I go out, I understand I have to be present. You know what I'm saying? I got my motorcycle license a couple of years ago. And the biggest thing they talked about was mindfulness when you ride your bike. That was the biggest thing. They started the whole lesson with: never get on your motorcycle angry, frustrated, not completely in your emotional well-being. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole part of life. You have to be locked in where you at, because that's where you at. And a lot of people sometimes get caught up looking ahead and missing the present, but also looking ahead and creating anxiety for themselves, worried about stuff that ain't even there or happening yet. And then dig this: most people look behind them their whole life with the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and they miss everything in front of them.
Yeah.
And then they present. And they also lose the ability to really forgive and move on past trivial things that last once the day is over. That shit didn't even happen no more, technically.
Right.
So why are we still here?
Yeah.
Right? So that's what the mindfulness is, man. The mindfulness is everything, bro. Your heaven and hell is created within your mind. Like, there is nowhere you go when you transition that looks like hell or heaven.
Yeah.
Have your heaven or hell as you are here in this existence, and it's here. As so inside is outside, as so above is so below.
Yeah.
So if your outer world is in turmoil, where do you go? Let's see if you've been listening. Where do you go?
If my outer world is...
If the outer world is in chaos, where do you go?
Right here.
You go inside.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing outside that's causing the turmoil.
Yeah.
What's inside is being reflected outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the head trick that they didn't give us, right? So many people run around and they defeat themselves with their mouths. They defeat themselves with their mind. You know what I'm saying? And then you're already out the game before you even get into the game. So mindfulness is everything, bro. Mindfulness is everything, man. And being a cyclist, I have to train it every day, man. Every day I'm on that bike, I gotta be locked in what I'm doing, man. I gotta be paying attention to cars coming up behind me. I gotta be looking ahead at me, making sure I'm not running into no potholes, no thing. I got so many things that I gotta be cognizant of, and still be here in the present. So it just keeps my antennas raised, and it gives my intuition, everything just, keeps me sharp.
That's so good. So good. What is your advice for someone that's essentially saying, like, I hear you. I hear that, I need to be in the moment, but it's all this stuff happening in my space. I got stuff that has happened in my history. I got stuff that's happening in my now. And I'm still, like you said, I've created this sense of anxiety for my future. So how do we combat the constant war that's being waged on our mind, to war against our mind, essentially, right? To prevent us from living in the moment. What's your advice on how to overcome that?
I was just telling them to stop fighting themselves. Like literally, like what ain't nothing going on in the past. The past don't exist. Ain't nothing going on in the future because it ain't here yet. Only thing that's going on is you and I having a conversation right now in this moment. Nothing else outside that even exists.
Yeah, so good, so good.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You got to be locked in. And people that can't get out of the past, can't stop worrying about the future, I always say they're not really trying to do no work now. Like stop running from the work. Do the work.
Stop running from the work. Do the work.
Stop running from the work. It ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Nothing changes if nothing changes. You know, the past is supposed to serve as lessons and things that help inform your present and help you protect your future. Meaning things in your past are supposed to let you know, like, hey man, I touched the stove when I was 5. I remember that shit was hot, the fire burns and it's dangerous. But it ain't meant for me that every time somebody got a fire on, I'm supposed to run around from the fire because it burns. But it ain't burning me now. Like, that was just a past thing, just for me to know and for me not to go touch no fire in the future. That's what it's for. It ain't for me to sit there and have a damn bad relationship with fire because I touched the fire when I was 5 and now I'm all thrown off by fire. No, it's not that deep. It happened for the moment. For bad for you to learn, and you did it. Now you locked it there. It's boom. Let's move to and now it serves as wisdom. It serves as a keep telling book. It's like all these things you got to compile into your database. You got to know what it's there for. You got to know how to use it, man.
Yeah. You got the folks on IG going crazy. Everybody responded to that. That's resonated with a few folks. So Karon, we ask all of our guests this one. What does your creative space look like? And then how does it inspire you to create the work that you do?
My creative space is pretty chaotic in a way. I got stuff everywhere. It just in the physical space, man. Like I got a bunch of little spots that I kind of do stuff. I paint in, I write in, I think in. But like, I'll say this, that my creative space is the world, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, man. Like I seek out inspiration everywhere I go. Like, when I'm riding, I'm seeking inspiration. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out and about, I'm seeking inspiration. When I'm watching a movie, I think it's all here for us, man. Everything is here to be in service of us because we're supposed to be in service of it. So I'm just trying to stay in balance with what I'm here to cosmically do, bro. Like, stay on purpose, be on purpose. You know, I believe my purpose is to use my art, my talents to teach, to inform, to show my culture and my people that we're more than what we even have imagined to see, right? We got a lot of great examples, but we need more. Like, so why not be one myself? You know, live as an example, do as I see and say as I believe, and really just stay the course, man. I think what we're lacking in the world now is just people with the integrity to stand up, I guess to keep it culturally up to beat, stand on their own business, right? And I think that's the biggest thing that's missing in our culture. We're not standing on business. We're not standing on a foundation of really what we come from and who we are and what we represent. And I think once we get around to that, everything's gonna be a little bit different. So my job while I'm here is to shine as bright as I can, doing it that way, with that intention. So a Kolby or another young Kolby that's doing this podcast in 10 years sees us doing this one, and he gets inspired to be even better than both of us and ends up having, and that's what we all here to do, bro. We're here to plant the seeds of the trees that we want to get to enjoy the shade from.
Yeah. That's good. Say that one more time.
We all here to plant seeds to the trees that we won't get to enjoy the shade of.
Yes.
That's really what we all supposed to be doing, man. And each generation subsequently is supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Folks, I'm talking to the amazing Karon Joseph Riley here. We're talking about his book, his new book, Keep Peddling. Make sure you get that. It's available wherever books are sold. He's going to talk a little bit more about how you can copy your copy of the book in just a moment. But we're going to shift gears really quickly and do something that we do here at the Kolby Kulture Show called the Culture Quick Fire. So, Karon, it's quick questions that warrant quick answers. And so I really want to see how fast you can think on your feet, brother.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
right, let's go.
Here we go. First question. Favorite book growing up?
Wasn't growing up. I got it as a young adult around 20 to 21. My rookie in NFL was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Changed my life.
Great book. Great book. One of my favorites as well. One word to describe your journey.
Amazing.
Tell me more about that. I know we want quick answers, but tell me more about that.
Amazing. It's amazing because I've done everything I said I was going to do. I've done everything I saw so far in my vision that I saw up to this point. To me, inside, I know that's amazing because it's only like, people that's been with me from, very young age, like some of my closest friends back in Detroit. Shout out to my boys. So in my closest circle, they've been with me since I was 8, 9 years old, and they've been hearing me say some of these things I'm saying to you at 45. So, again, it's amazing because a lot of times, like I said, I can't take credit for none of it, to be honest with you, bro. It's nothing that I try to do. It's nothing that I consciously. I'm not consciously this way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been this way for a very, very long time. So again, like I said earlier, it's not theoretical no more. It is what it is. I am who I say I am. And I work really hard to always be that now, because at 45, I know who I am. And I think that is in itself amazing because I see so many people who don't know who they are, and it's not because they shouldn't, because some of those people are older than I am. And I think, with time, you just, at some point, if you really have been on a real quest to really seek out your purpose since you got here, you should be on course around this age where you kind of start to put a little shit together. You know what I'm saying? If you're really putting some things together, it may not be a good move going forward unless you really take a real growth spurt.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Man, it's a lot, man. I wrote a whole book full of advice that I've received. That's what Keep Peddling is. It's a collection of quotes and advice that I've gotten from so many wise people that I've had the privilege and honor to be amongst and connect with. So I'll just throw out two.
Okay.
One of my best friends, David Banner. You guys may know him. Super intelligent.
Of course, we love you, brother.
Absolutely. He had the quote up in his office, and it's on his office wall, and it says, "It's my fault, even when it isn't."
Whoa.
Right? Now, do you get that? You understand how heavy that is? That's the level of accountability that you have to carry as a man. You have to carry that level of accountability. You carry that level of accountability, can't nobody tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? You own your shit and you own your win. That's what I always say. I'm gonna own everything. I'm gonna own my losses. I'm gonna own my win. You know what I'm saying? When I mess up, I'm gonna own it. But when I win, goddammit, I'm gonna own that too. So it's gonna be balanced. You know what I'm saying? And I raise my kids the same way. When they do something brilliant, I'm gonna tell them. But when they do some dumb shit, I'm gonna tell them that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it running, give it a stack every time. So yeah.
Okay. Favorite place to unwind?
The movies. In front of a good movie. A massage, my bike. I got a lot of places, man. The basketball court. When I can muster up the body to do it. Spending time with my son, working out with him when he's training. Then spending time with my daughter, spending time with my wife, all those places. That's another thing y'all gotta do. You gotta find places where you can find some peace at, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the more places you can find peace, the better, man, because every time you walk out the front door, baby, you're in a war.
Absolutely.
Every time you turn the TV on the news, you listening to war. You listen to war news. It's all crazy.
Mm-hmm. Who is your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration, my mother.
Tell us more about that.
Well, my mother lived for 63 years with sickle cell thalassemia, which is amazing. She was the smartest woman I ever known in my life. The most loving, most caring, strongest, hardest working. She just did it right, man. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't get a fair shake with the sickle cell. That was you know, a bad draw on her in the genetic lottery, but she did amazing, and she affected so many kids because she was an educator. She affected so many children with her gifts, and me included. So my mother, she's my inspiration, bro. Always living up to her standard of what she saw in me, and she called me her golden child. So you understand the standard that I'm working towards all the time.
Yes, sir.
Right. So my mother.
Okay. Your go-to self-care activity.
Yeah, I think I named them earlier with my places of peace. My go-to self-care, really self-care. They don't have nothing to do with no kids and no wives and none of that shit. That you really gotta get your self-care on.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got two. One is very, very, very introverted, and the other one is very extroverted. I really love getting with my boys, like my crew, and just really being able to let my hair down and just really laugh and just be completely free of any judgment anywhere, right? That's the extroverted side of me. But the introverted side of me is just, I will eat. Go-to self-care is just quiet, man. Nobody around me. My bike is not far away from me. So if I decide to just go for a ride in the midst of my silence and solitude, I can. And I got a great Wi-Fi signal if I decide to binge watch movies or something. So I guess my ideal introverted retreat would be a cabin somewhere in the woods with my bike and a great catalog of films and some canvases to paint maybe and chill, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and a heavy supply.
Right. I hear you. Last one. Dream role as an actor.
Playing Yasu Rod in the House of Rock. And it's a movie I wrote, Black Superman movie. And I say that to say I already actually played my dream role, which was to play Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And I did that in a movie called The Last Punch. It hasn't come out yet. The producers were two beautiful people. It was based on a true story. It was based on Muhammad Ali's last professional fight that he fought Trevor Burbick in the Bahamas. Played the older version of Ali, which was, very different version of Ali than most people knew. But it was really, really, really spiritual and very, very life-changing for me to play that role. Like, I literally could have probably retired from acting at that time if I really would have had enough, money secured to take care of my family. But because, again, that was my initial dream role until Yasu Rod entered into my life. I wrote the script, and I'm gonna keep speaking into existence until it's here. So that'll be coming soon. We're working on things now, so we'll figure that out.
Okay, well, I appreciate you playing the culture quick fire. You did great. Folks, I'm talking to Karon Joseph Riley here on the Kolby Kulture Show. It's audience interaction time. So, Karon, we've gotten some questions already sent over from audience members that were excited that you were going to be on the show. But folks, if you're watching and you have like a burning question for Karon, make sure you drop it in the chat and we'll certainly ask him. First question, and I think you answered this a little bit earlier, but do you have any tips for staying motivated when life gets tough?
For me, first and foremost, it goes back to you believing, right, into what's your vision for what you were working on, what's your plan, and what you see for yourself. I would tell that person to really, really search and find what it is they really want to do, and if they would do that for free because it makes them feel so good inside, make them feel like a little 5-year-old again, that's probably what you should be doing, right? If it's not that, it's going to be hard to stay motivated. I think if you find what you really want to do, what you're supposed to do, you'll find the motivation even in the tough times, because I think love of what you do and love of who you are is a fuel source that will never run out.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's what I live off of. I live off of the love of my understanding of myself, the love of myself. There's nobody I love more than I love myself.
Yeah, man. Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? There's a song I used to hear back in Jamaica. I'm gonna love you enough for the both of. I'm gonna love me enough for the both of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't need external love to push forward. I don't like what I love. I love acting. I love telling stories. I love being who I am. So even when times are slow, I'm not gonna get discouraged, because how am I gonna get discouraged being who I am? Like I love this shit. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
You never run out of love. You can get tired, yeah. You just take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Let's go take a nap. Let's go to sleep for a couple days. We'll be fine. So I tell people, love it, man. If you love it, you can't get tired. That's just what it is. I tell my son all the time, if you really love this basketball, you can get tired.
Yeah. So good. So good. What was the most surprising lesson you learned while writing your book?
Man, it ain't easy. I have the utmost respect for like pure writers. You know what I'm saying? People that sit down and just hammer and go and go and go. It's not easy, but I also learned this. Not as hard as you think either.
That's right. I tell people all the time, like, I did not set out to become an author. So I'm a children's book writer. I don't, like you, I don't feel like I can sit down and just write something. But I tell people all the time, you have a desire to write a book or to do anything, just do it. Like, do it afraid. Sometimes it's just jotting down words and not worrying about the structure, so to speak. Just jotting that stuff down so that you have it on paper, and then put the structure into it a little bit later on. But you just got to get it out of your brain and onto paper, so to speak. So yeah, do it. It's not as hard as you think, folks. How do you balance your work as an actor, a producer, and an author with the family life?
One moment at a time, baby. One moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One moment at a time. Like right now, I'm not being a father, a husband, an actor, nothing. I'm being Karon Joseph Riley, talking to Kolby on the Kulture Show. And do all those other things right now. So in this pocket is where I'm at. That's how you do everything. If you gotta paint a fence that's 1,000,000 miles long, don't look at the whole damn fence.
Right, huh?
Just paint one stick at a time. And just keep painting one stick at a time, man. Make sure that one stick that you paint is perfect, as perfect as you can get it. Move to the next. And then what happens over time, you look up, you done painted the whole damn fence.
That's right. Good advice, man. Who would you love to collaborate with in the future, whether in film or writing?
Everybody that's black and excellent, man. Everybody that's black and excellent, man. Denzel, Sam, Taraji, Regina. I've done it with Regina Hall. I mean, I just more collaboration, more and more building. Tyler Perry, everybody. Just the whole kingdom of talented temps. I don't know how familiar you are with W.E.B. Du Bois and his talented temps papers, but I'm seeking out all talented temps.
Yeah. Good, brother. All right. Well, I appreciate you answering audience questions that have come through. This is actually my favorite part of the show. It's called the Kolby Kulture Word Wave. And so what I'm going to do is throw out a word, and you hit us with the first thing that comes to your mind. All right.
Okay. All right.
Word. You can talk about something from the book or just life experience in general.
All right.
Ready? First word: success.
Health.
Tell us a little bit more.
I mean, I think no matter how many trophies you win, how much money you make, if you ain't healthy, none of it matter.
Yeah.
To get to the real root of it. If I'm healthy and I can live and be 120, I think that's successful.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that time, I got all the time to do all the body and all the strength to do all the things I want to do. So success to me is relative to me at the end of the day. Like the worldly success is relative because no matter what the person outside world looks at success, when you're actually doing it, they look at it as if it's successful. But the person who's actually doing the actually doing, they're most of the time they're looking to the next thing as soon as they accomplish one. Once you climb one hill, you look to the next. Once you climb one mountain, you look to the next. In a lifetime, it's almost a little sad when you get to the top of something, when you finish something.
Yeah.
It's like, I spent so much time working on the book, knocked it out, now it's done. It's like, damn, now it's done.
Yeah.
Now what? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have that daily thought or challenge to get it done. It's like, so yeah, it's all relative. I think my really barometer of success is really, man. Health all the way around, man. You being healthy in my spirit, mind, body, and soul, man. Everything else, man, I can take care of that.
Yeah. So good. Second word is fear.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Good. Resilience.
It's necessary.
Tell us more about that one.
Without it, you won't finish nothing. Without it, you won't accomplish anything. Without resilience, there will be no success. Without resilience, there will be nothing but that word fear. You gotta get through it, man. Resilience is everything. You gotta be able to pivot. You gotta be able to push through when the wind is blowing against you. You gotta be able to ride. It's like, okay, keep it in the book, keep it in cycling. You gotta be able to ride until it hits me.
Freedom.
Still working for it.
Growth.
Lifeblood.
Tell me more about that.
I think growth is what keeps you living, what keeps you moving forward. Every day, if you stop growing, you start dying.
Yeah.
Right? I think, my mother always said, learn something new every day. Learn 3 or 4 things new every day. Constantly seek out knowledge, constantly seek out wisdom, constantly seek out growth. That's where the good stuff in life happens.
Yeah. Determination.
Got to be intentional.
So good. Karon, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey, your wisdom, and passion with us today. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or words of inspiration for our listeners? And then if you could tell us about how we can stay updated on all that's happening with you.
All right. Well, first piece of advice would be to find yourself. So you can find your purpose. Find your purpose and stay on purpose and keep pedaling until you hit it, right? Second part of that question would be, you can find me anywhere, man. KaronJosephRiley.com is where you can actually purchase the book if you want to get it autographed and signed from me. That's my website, www.KaronJosephRiley.com. Of course, it's everywhere else. You can go to Amazon, Books a Million, anywhere else to find it where books are sold. But in the spirit of Nipsey Hussle, those are all the middlemen. If you really rock with your boy, keep me working, keep me going to the post office, and I keep sending the books out to people. And I'll keep autographing them, I keep sending my energy with them versus the middleman. But again, you can find me across all platforms. Karon Joseph Riley, I ain't hard to find. If you're looking for something on TV, all you gotta do is put me in the search engine. I come up on probably most of the networks without. But I always tell people, before you find me, find yourself.
Yeah.
When you see me, holler at me. And until you do, keep peddling.
Yes, sir. Again, I appreciate you joining us tonight. And to all my Kolby Kulture fam, Karon's journey is a powerful reminder that life's challenges are just opportunities in disguise. No matter how steep the hill, keep pedaling, keep pushing, and keep striving for greatness. As a reminder, starting August 15th, actually tomorrow, the Kolby Kulture Show will be available wherever you stream your podcast. So you can listen to this one, as well as all of the other authors that have joined us. So make sure that you are plugged in and stay updated on all things Kolby Kulture. And trust me, we've got some major announcements coming your way, so stay locked in. Follow us on all social platforms at Kolby Kulture Show. And then tune in next week for another lit episode. Remember, whatever you do, always keep it Kolby Kulture.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow the show wherever you listen to your podcast. Watch and subscribe on YouTube. And please feel free to give us a 5-star rating. See you on the next one.